Thank you very much for joining us on the special edition of India Now, completely politically charged after a low-key swearing-in ceremony just yesterday. B.S. Yeddyurappa is now going to face a crucial floor test, not in the next 15 days, but tomorrow at 4 p.m. itself to prove his majority. And that's the word and diktat that came in from the Supreme Court, which refused to give any more time to the BJP to prove its majority and observed that it is better to hold the floor test tomorrow than examine Governor Vajubhai Vala's decision to inform the government first. Let's take this across to a very special panel that's joining us because many questions continue to remain that need to be answered. What is the message that the Supreme Court is trying to deliver here? Is it advantage to Congress JDS? Can they hold their flock together? Why is the BJP so confident that they will win the vote? Many questions, and over the next 30 minutes, I've got Vaibhav Agarwal from the BJP, I've got Radhika Khera from the Congress, and Kailash Vasudev, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court. I must begin with the neutral observer, and I think it's only fair that I begin with Mr. Vasudev. And Mr. Vasudev, what did the court intend to prove by its judgment, by deciding that the confidence vote will be tomorrow and no later than that? It has shrunk the window for any untoward incident to happen, any sordid deal making. But what is the larger message that the court has delivered to the political class here?
You see, the larger message given by the court is very simple. You cannot delay the formation of a government. Do it now, prove your majority, come to terms with what has been decided by the people. Because the more there is a delay, then you'll go into, you have the IPL for cricket, then we will go into the Indian political league for this. Let's not play around, get the things done, announce your majority, prove your majority on the floor of the House. Because see, the Supreme Court order is specific. You will appoint a pro tem speaker, every member will take oath, and by 4 o'clock the floor test will take place. He has also given instructions that the IG of police or Director General of Police will maintain law and order in this whole situation. There is a reason for it. Democracy, elections are compulsory. Elections leading to the formation of a government should be done at the immediate earliest. No horse trading. That is the purpose behind the Supreme Court's order.
Absolutely. I think the larger message to the political class is do not indulge in any horse trading. That is not what the mandate wants you to do. That is not democracy. I'm going to go across to Radhika Khera. And Radhika, why is the Congress calling this a victory? You did not go to the Supreme Court seeking floor test tomorrow. You were demanding overturning of Yeddy's appointment as Chief Minister. How do you stand vindicated then? This isn't victory as you seem to be hailing right now.
This is victory because it is absolutely clear that BJP does not have its numbers. They are not, I'm sure they don't even have the 104 that they're claiming. If they do, I would request them to get those MLAs out and parade them before everyone to see. Since everything for the BJP is about Twitter, they can probably do a Twitter live and show us those 104. But it is a victory because justice has prevailed right now, and the court has given them less time to go ahead with all the horse trading that they were trying to do. I know they will still go ahead and still try and buy out people, but they have to realize this will be a lesson for the BJP that everything is not for sale.
Okay, this will be a lesson for the BJP that a mandate and every politician in India is not for sale is the word that's coming in from the Congress party representative. But I think it's only fair that I shift the debate and talk to people who will have to prove the majority and take this to Vaibhav Agarwal. How embarrassing is this observation, is this order from the Supreme Court, Vaibhav? The governor gave you 15 days when you had asked for 7. The Supreme Court says you've got to go in with practical solutions. You have to do a trust vote and do it by 4 p.m. tomorrow, that is Saturday. There is a possibility that Mr. Yeddy could end up being the Chief Minister for just 2 days. But how come the BJP is so confident about winning tomorrow? Your Twitter handle says we were ready to prove majority from the word go. We have more than the required numbers to sail through. We are looking forward to proving our mandate. I mean, your senior leaders are also saying so in the tweets that I've seen. On what basis is this really bold assertion being made?
Well, first of all, this is not a setback to us, Supriya ji. For anyone who wants to claim it as a victory, they're free to dance to it. We have no problem to that. But you see that we've been maintaining a very low profile since the Karnataka elections have happened, we've not climbed up a tree and shouted that we will win it, we will rule the government, we will do this, we will do that. So what we are doing, what we have to do, and we will do everything what it takes for the people of Karnataka, for the sake of the people of Karnataka, and for upholding the values of the very democracy that we all stand for. India is the largest democracy in the world today, and we cannot, at the behest of Congress or any other party whatsoever, let this go from us, because everyone looks up to us. We just don't want to be another country today. We want to be the leading country in the world. So we're not worried about it. There is no setback at all. Now, as far as the government is concerned, where the government is being formed, how is it being formed, the floor test and so on and so forth, I'm very surprised at the Congress that they're so blinded in their lust for power that they are unable to see that we are not doing this for the sake of power. We are in power. We are governing 70% plus India already. There is no force. Even if you were to take a state from us, it wouldn't matter to us. They have to understand we are not a state-based party. We are a cadre-based party. We are a country-based party. That's what the ideology is. So it is not a setback to us. We are not doing anything for the lust of power, but we will hold the fort till such time that we prove them wrong, and we will hold the fort and prove them wrong tomorrow. So that's what the idea here is. It's to uphold the people's mandate. It's the uphold and respect the values of very democracy that we all stand for.
You know, Vaibhav Agarwal, I am tempted to go back to my two other panelists, but I get a sense that, you know, are you trying to build ground here that even if you were to lose this vote tomorrow, it is no big deal because you are governing the rest of the country, 70% of the country? Are you laying ground? Because you seem to sound as if you've made your peace with the fact that you could lose this one.
No, I'm actually trying to make a peace of make a peace with everyone else, and Mr. Vasudevan knows what I'm trying to hint at, perhaps, you know, or anyone from my Congress. I've had my exchanges with Pawan Khera also today, and we both were smiling away to glory because we both know who will win, because the Congress knows who will win at the end of the day, no matter what dance they do. Look at the way that they're trying to play around with the democracy principles and the people's powers. You know, I questioned in the afternoon, and I'm a simple guy. You have Kailashji on the show. I question, is the Supreme Court trying to show their dominance with the order that came in the afternoon, that there is no one above them, even the governor and the highest office of the executive? Is the Supreme Court trying to violate the Section 361? Which clearly states otherwise, and so on and so forth. So you know, and I don't even want to get technical into it. I've done so many debates on this. I just feel so out of breath trying to tell people. But all I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to make peace with the thought that people think that we are losing, and I'm telling them that we are not.
Okay,
we already have a
you know,
BJP
it's
chief
very
minister
interesting.
In the state. We already have.
I understand, Vaibhav. Just hold your thoughts there. I want to go to Radhika Khera because you sound extremely confident, and I am just bewildered to figure out where your optimism and confidence is coming from. Where will you get those 9 additional MLAs from, or how will you make 11 abstain? Just as I am bewildered to think that the Congress believes it can hold its fork together, but I'll go to her in just a bit. Mr. Vasudev, are you amused? Are you surprised? Are you a little shocked that first it was the Congress attacking the judiciary, and now the BJP attacks the judiciary by saying that has the Supreme Court undermined the august office of the governor? Have they undermined the executive? I mean, what are we looking at here? So now both sides will be attacking the judiciary on this one. Mr. Vasudev.
This is disturbing. It is troublesome, and if I may use the word, there is a certain amount of arrogance which has come into the political class to frown upon anything, especially when they are in an odd corner. The Supreme Court is being denigrated by these kind of statements, and I should personally say I take exception because we work in that court. The Supreme Court is the last bastion of a democracy where we are trying to maintain some semblance of sense. Political bickering does not permit you to castigate the Supreme Court. Please do not do it. The Supreme Court has been created by the Constitution for the purposes of being an arbiter and for rolling out justice. It holds political parties at the same level for all purposes. Look at the order today. The Governor's order is there. It has been honored. The Chief Minister has not been removed. He has been asked to prove his majority. The Supreme Court has done so in the larger interest of the state. To turn around by the Congress to say that the Supreme Court is not doing its job, or the BJP to turn around and say this, is scandalous. It is time these political parties realized that if they have gone to the court, they must take the consequences of an order, good or bad. The second aspect of it, which is very troublesome today from this little which I am hearing and even from what little we saw in the court. Today, the fight is no longer for the purposes of a democratic pattern. It is for the purposes of gaining an absolute authority in circumstances where you want to have absolute power. The Congress, the JDS combined, the BJP on its own position, they are all trying to show that, look, we are the right people to be chosen because we have the majority. Prove it on the floor of the House. Don't castigate others. The people didn't accept either of the three parties. If the people had accepted any of the three parties with majority, they would have sailed in. It is not so today.
Right.
The parties, the people have rejected this partisan attitude.
Yes.
Let everybody accept it. Try and form a government as best as you can.
Yes.
Do not castigate the Supreme Court.
Absolutely. I think that's the point. If the people haven't voted anybody comprehensively to form the next government. Yes, the BJP is the single largest party. The Congress has a mandate against them. So, I mean, you know, there are no holy cows here. But Radhika Khera, I'm just curious to find out one thing. While the BJP is very confident of winning tomorrow, how confident are you of being able to hold your flock together? You know, you've transported your MLAs to Hyderabad, you'll bring them back. I'm sure they'll be able to talk to their counterparts in the assembly when they meet tomorrow. So, from the BJP, how confident are you of holding your flock together?
Supriya, what is ironical is when you hear people from the BJP and their spokespersons talk about people's mandate and democracy when they have actually encountered democracy, you know, like a proper encounter. Why I say that is because we saw that in Meghalaya, we saw that in Goa, we saw that in Manipur. And then they talk about people's mandate, irony just died 1,000 deaths. And when it comes to our people are all together. We saw that when we fought the elections, our flocks stuck together, our people stuck together. They were all one. And even today, they are all one. The only reason that we had to keep them away is because the BJP, the government of the day in the center, was using unfair means to scare them. And one of the MLAs has even gone on record to say that. They are threatening them. So to avoid that, you know, anybody would be scared for their life. So to avoid that, we had to keep them away. They are open to talk to anyone. There is no thing like there's no Tanashahi in our party. What the question is, where are those 104 MLAs that the BJP is claiming that they have? They don't have the numbers. Where are they going to get the numbers? It's very easy to say all that. Okay. Our people are together. They are united. They stand united. They were united when we fought the election as well. Nobody is going anywhere and we have the numbers.
Okay. Okay, we'll see whether you have the 78 plus 38.
I have a question
when
here.
the voting comes, but let me. No, 1 second. I'll just go to Vaibhav Agarwal, and I've got very little time on the show, gentlemen, and Radhika. So I'm going to switch gears and keep talking about different issues. Vaibhav, BJP leader KG Bopaiah has been appointed the pro tem speaker. As speaker, he had ensured BJP government survival in 2011 by disqualifying rebel MLAs, and which is why Yeddy had won. Doesn't the choice by the governor once again raise many questions? Why did he have to go with such a controversial name?
Well, everyone, Supriya ji, everyone can't be happy about it. And I'll tell you where the problem lies. The problem lies is that everyone could be controversial. I've made mistakes. I've made controversies. I'm sure you would have. I'm sure Kailash would have. Radhika has her own set of controversies. Everyone, to each is to her. And it's just the way we look at it. I don't look at it as a controversial choice. In fact, I look at it as a very nice choice. He's experienced. He's a 4-time MLA. He knows Karnataka at the back of his hand. He's a senior guy. He's friends with most of the people. So it will be very easy for him to run the house in proper shape and get the work going there. And I think it's the governor's choice that I do not have a right to question any which ways. And neither would you, neither would Ms. Khera, neither would Kailash, nobody, not even the court. I mean, Article 361 doesn't allow you to question him. So, any which ways, that's technical, but I feel that it's the highest executive office and it shouldn't be questioned. And look where we are getting. We are questioning the highest of the investigative agencies. We are abusing the Prime Minister of the country. We are abusing
Vaibhav,
everyone.
let's not derail the debate.
Now
I don't want the debate to be derailed. Vaibhav, hold your thoughts there. I am not going to let the debate be derailed. This is a Karnataka-focused debate in the Supreme Court's decision. We will stick to that. Radhika Khera, before I go to Kailash Vasudev, I have a quick point of view to you. While I have in my opening question said that Mr. Yeddyurappa perhaps is a controversial name because he was the speaker when those MLAs were disqualified, those rebel MLAs. But will the Congress challenge this in Supreme Court as well? And where does doubt stop? Will you continue to doubt everyone associated with the governor and the BJP? Because somewhere this suspicion will have to stop, will have to end for work to begin.
I'm going to answer what you said, Supriya, along with the same answer for what Vaibhav also said. It is actually the perfect choice, like he says, because he is the same person in 2009 who helped get Yeddyurappa into power, and then after that we saw an unstable government in Karnataka. We saw 3 CMs changing, and we saw what the people of Karnataka got in those 5 years. We saw a 35,000 crore scam in Karnataka. So he is the perfect choice. It is the perfect choice, and when it comes to going to the Supreme Court or not, we have our options open. We are going through what is actually constitutional and what is not, and how he has been appointed, because clearly he was not the senior most MLA. The senior most MLA is from the Congress, who is an 8-term MLA. So why he was chosen, we will go through all that, and we will we have our options open. I'm not denying going to the Supreme Court, and I'm not agreeing that we are going to the Supreme Court. We have our options open, and our team are looking into it.
Okay, the team is working on it. I wonder when the suspicion will end and why did Mr.
But we will do everything. We will do everything to prevent a 2009 from being repeated, and to keep the people, to keep everything in terms for everything, that everything happens in favor of the people of Karnataka and development, and no more unstable governments for them.
Radhika, you made your point. Very quickly, Vaibhav, you make yours, because I want to go back to Kailash Vasudev. Very quickly, please. Under 30 seconds.
I have two. Yeah, one question and one point. My point being that I think Congress does not remember Ramesh Bhandari, Hansraj Bhardwaj and other scam and so on and so forth. I don't want to derail the thing, but I am very curious to know, in all my humility, and call me ignorant, but I am very curious to know under what law, and this is directly directed to Kailash ji for his able guidance on the matter, under what law is the pro tem speaker to be appointed, and what are the qualification criteria?
No, okay, Vaibhav, I know where you're coming from. I don't want to get involved into technicalities of the law and the article. No, I don't want to get involved with the technicalities of this.
I'm just asking for a qualification criteria.
Vasudev get into. Okay, we'll get to that. And Mr. Vasudev, if you can briefly explain to us, it will be great. But I also have a follow-up question. What was the rationale for a respected jurist, the Attorney General K.K. Venugopal, to ask the Supreme Court today for a secret ballot in Karnataka trust vote? I mean, yes, it was rejected by the court eventually, but what was the intention? It raises doubts on the means being deployed to win this one.
Look, it would be unfair on anyone's part to comment on what the Attorney General has said. Secret ballots, show of hands, counting by the electronic machines, they eventually land up at the same position because you count the number of hands who eventually voted in a particular direction. I don't think this is a matter which, I mean, we should dwell on over here, because these are proceedings in the Supreme Court. They will be having their fallouts at the end of the day when the hearing takes place 6 or 8 weeks from now. The question is the appointment of a Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House is appointed by members themselves. You have to choose and work it out between yourselves. In this case, a pro tem speaker has been appointed. The governor has exercised his powers. He has appointed a pro tem speaker in accordance with the directions of the court. Now, when you appoint a pro tem speaker, he has really no powers because he is only doing a temporary job for a moment. The pro tem speaker's terms will come to an end moment the floor test is completed. I am not aware of any specific criteria which is there for the appointment of a pro tem speaker. These are appointments which are made for a specific purpose, for a limited purpose. Appointment of speakers has its own gamuts, which is totally different. That comes when the House is formally assembled. I have a question for both the BJP and the Congress representatives here. The question is this. We have noticed in the past, especially in the past 15 years, whenever there is a minority group or a majority group or a group of MLAs to be protected, they are secreted out from their state and kept it in another place or in a safe place, entertained, looked after and all that. I mean, aren't those people adult enough, grown up enough, statesmen enough to be elected?
That's such
Can't
a valid
you respect
point.
the decisions instead of flocking them together?
Mr.
I mean,
Mr.
are
Vasudev,
they to be treated
we at ET
in
now,
a manner
if
which
I may
is
interrupt you
improper?
there, Mr. Vasudev, we at ET now actually call it resort politics. You know, resorts are booked after there's a fractured mandate, people are herded. MLAs are no longer elected representatives. They become numbers, they become commodity, they become, you know, show of hands really. But I will take a quick follow-up to you and then go across to the BJP and the Congress. I've just got 2 odd minutes left on the show. Mr. Vasudev, if I may take a quick follow-up to you. Talking about the larger issue here, let's presume that if Mr. Yeddy does not make it tomorrow, if he does fail the test, what happens to his decision and big ones like waiving the farm loans? I mean, shouldn't the Supreme Court also clarify now that a chief minister cannot have the power to take crucial decisions, transfers, appointments and things like that without first proving majority in the House? Is that something that the court must deliberate over?
No, but they've said so. No, in the order today, he have said no decisions to be taken. It is a part of the order.
But he's already taken a decision.
He
So what happens to the farm loan decision that was taken yesterday? No, but what happens to the farm loan waiver decision that was taken yesterday?
I don't think those are implementable decisions because they're not taken by a council of ministers. They've been taken by the chief minister alone. The law is specific. Council of ministers has to advise the governor. There's no council of ministers which has advised the governor. It's an individual. The individual has been appointed. He's got to prove that he's entitled to control and regulate the affairs of state. The law is council of ministers must be there to advise the governor. These decisions are finance and money bills. Yes.
I will quickly go across to both Congress and BJP and please keep it brief. I've got the last 1.5 minutes on the show. And Vaibhav, given how fluid things are, if Mr. Yeddy doesn't make it and the fact that Mr. Shah and Mr. Modi skipped the oath-taking ceremony, who will take the blame for what is perhaps being seen as a hasty, desperate attempt to form the government?
I think that's a question that Congress should answer, because let me tell you this right now and reach out to a larger set of audiences that ET now has. Bharatiya Janata Party has done whatever it has done with full confidence. We came to power with full confidence. We tweaked our foreign policy with full confidence. Whatever we touched, wherever we went, whichever state we went, we touched it, we made it gold. So we are 100% confident of winning the vote. There is no two qualms about not winning the vote. Always remember that Bharatiya Janata Party has its game in place, has its team in place. Congress is a divided house.
Okay, Radhika Khera, if I may just throw back to you and for a final word there, Congress is a divided house, says the BJP. I also believe Congress is not just a divided house. Congress is a very marginalized player now. I mean, you are at the mercy of JDS to somehow take on the BJP, and politics is never fought in courtrooms. Politics is fought out there on the streets of India, in the, you know, at the absolute ground level. Is that a lesson that the Congress party needs to learn? You can have the top legal eagles in your party, but it's not the courts that will eventually decide will you be voted in next.
See, when democracy is encountered, like I said earlier, again and again, which we saw previously in 5 states, you have to take the help of the courts, because you have to put a stop to this. The BJP will stand exposed tomorrow when they will not have the numbers to prove their majority. The karma will serve them back what they have been serving the nation. And it is absolutely, I agree with Vaibhavji on all the things that he says. You know, they have been serving people jumlas all throughout for 4 years, that they've started believing in those jumlas. They feel that, oh, everything they've turned everything into gold. That is a jumla that you're giving yourself. Please get yourself a mirror and realize what the reality is.
Okay.
You have destroyed the nation in this 4 years. We are seeing a naked dance of democracy for the past 4 years. And BJP will stand exposed tomorrow. And Congress stands united, and we will continue to fight for development. We will continue to fight against the divisive and communal politics of the BJP.
And that's the analogy of your president.
No. 1 second.
Oh, of course, you are worse than Pakistan right now, Vaibhavji.
And of course,
we are worse than Pakistan right now. At least 3 PM ministers were removed. You have a person who is accused of a scam, who's been made a chief minister by you, who went to jail.
We are not one of those channels who tom Pakistan for viewership. No, please, 1 second. Vaibhav Agarwal and Radhika Khera, thank you very much for joining us. And Kailash Vasudev, it's a pleasure to have you on ET Now, and we'll look forward to seeing a lot more of you. There's one thing that I can say at the end of this discussion, that there is an absolute naked pursuit for power, and politics will belie every logic and every rule that it has been played by so far. Thanks very much for being with us. Keep it with ET Now for news and updates that follow right here.